It's Monday night and Nadine and Abe Singer are winding down after a busy day at work.
We live 5 minutes from the beach, so I'm a beach bum, so our dog Millie, she loves the beach. I think she would be very sad if we moved somewhere where there isn't a beach. I love the people, it's so multicultural.
The couple live in a rental on Sydney's lower North Shore.
Sit. Sit. Where's Daddy? I can see him. I can see him.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to afford a house here, especially in that area. We were thinking at one point, but it was like roughly $1 million, was it?
Yeah, it was 925,000. You know, for us, $1 million is a lot of money.
Abe, who's 41, is in sales. Nadine is 38 and a kindy teacher who also tutors after school.
Oh, I think I grew up how I think most girls grew up. I was like, oh, at one point I'm going to get married. And I even had a timeline. I was like, okay, I'm going to get married when I'm 30. And then when I'm 35, I'm going to have one child, one daughter. That's it.
The pair met in Germany, but moving back to Australia made up their minds. They're not having kids.
I feel in today's society, kids are a luxury. I think it's so much harder here for mothers because they have to leave their children with a stranger so much earlier, or having to decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to stay home without any pay.
Australia is experiencing what some are calling a baby recession. KPMG analysis shows the estimated number of births in 2023 was the lowest since 2006, and a sharp drop from the post-lockdown spikes of 2021 and 2022. That's against the backdrop of a long-term decline in Australia's total fertility rate, which has been falling since the 70s and more recently dropped from over 2 children per woman in 2008 to just 1.6 children. On average, women need to be having 2.1 children for the population to remain steady without immigration.
There is no one issue that's contributing to the declining number of children being born in Australia or our declining fertility rate. It's a whole gamut of issues that are connecting together and having an impact. But there is no doubt that in recent times, the cost of living, the inflation, interest rates, insecure work, insecure housing are having an immediate effect in the short term.
While some Australians are choosing not to have children or have them later in life, others are making difficult decisions about how many to have.
But where is the green sheep?
We always wanted to have a family, so it was a little bit of a journey for us with fertility treatment, but it was always our goal to have families. And we love children, and so we just have those moments where we're reading a book or we're going for a walk, and we get to have those moments where we're just completely in love with our girls.
We have some orange. Yeah.
This Friday afternoon is a chance for some quality family time for Ryan and Amanda Trainer and their daughters Lucy and Grace.
We're going to go to the park. Yeah.
Amanda works part-time with children and aged care residents, and usually when she's off, Ryan will try to pick up a casual shift in his part-time aged care job.
Needing 2 incomes to run a family just means that you're not actually getting that time as a family.
The Trainers have a mortgage on their Hobart home, and with interest rates so high, they've cut back on other things like private health insurance and a planned holiday.
What about Grace's shoes?
There wasn't the worry of money. We would have definitely explored the option of having more children, but because, we have used our savings, there's the expense of daycare, our kids being at school, all the other expenses that comes along with that, we just now don't have that option.
Over the past 5 censuses, the percentage of women with no children or 1 child has gone up, while the percentage with 2 children has remained fairly steady. But the percentage of women with 3 children has dropped, and those with 4 or more has declined significantly.
If 2 partners and parents are working full-time, it's very difficult to enjoy the experience of being a first-time parent. And so unless we're actually supporting our young families to enjoy the experience of parenthood, it's unlikely that they're going to go back for more, unless by accident.
After Amanda first took maternity leave, Ryan took a year off to be a stay-at-home dad, a choice that wasn't cheap.
We don't regret, but because
Yeah.
we did spend all our savings, it meant when Lucy came along, we didn't have that option to do it a second time round. Unfortunately, Lucy did have to go into daycare a lot younger than Grace did, so that we could get back to work.
While having children is a personal decision, workforce demographer Lisa Denny says declining birth and fertility rates also have major implications for the country.
So we're looking at a decline in our potential labour supply and workforce entrants, and that are actually able to, pay their taxes so that the government can provide the services to those that aren't working anymore. So if we don't replace our population at an adequate level, we will be struggling to fiscally be sustainable.
And it's not just an Australian problem. Globally, women are having one child fewer on average than they did around 1990. In some Asian countries, governments are covering the cost of assisted reproductive technology or offering cash handouts and providing housing subsidies for people to have babies. In Australia, previous governments have offered one-off sweeteners,
one for your husband and one for your wife and one for the country.
but leaned heavily on migration.
Migration is a very lazy solution to our demographic challenges. This decline in fertility rate has been a long, slow burn that we've known about for a long time. So yes, we're seeing a direct impact at the moment, but it is the accumulation of poor policies in the past.
In a statement to 7:30, a spokesperson for the Treasurer Jim Chalmers said migration has always been an important part of the economy, but isn't a substitute for making it easier for Australians to have more kids.
It's time to make our
For young Australians, it's all about having enough support to enjoy whichever path they take.
It's just that balance, which I don't think there ever is the perfect balance.
Our culture of work hard, play hard, it comes down to, yes, there's a lot of factors that come into it. Can you afford it? Can you not afford it? But at the end of the day, you've got the choice. So to use the choice wisely.